Sit. It's cold. Did you guys knock this over? I barely got the top piece back on. It's so heavy. What you doing? The brandywine tomatoes are really getting too big to be under the lights anymore. So I think when it warms up, back there is getting a little crowded. These right here are the swamp milkweed. They're getting a little out of hand, as are these morning glories that are twining around the milkweed. So all these really tall plants, probably tomorrow I'll take out and just keep them outside and bring them in and sit them on my table at night when it gets cold. Probably need to raise the lights on this one too. More tomatoes. This is the only sweet pepper, the small sweet peppers that germinated. I don't think anything else but mold is growing. Oh, there's a sprout. Or the regular bell peppers. There's one. So as you can see, it's still raining. It's getting a little depressing. I do get that seasonal affective disorder. I need to have sunshine every once in a while. I guess that's why I haven't felt like doing another video in the last couple days, because I just am not feeling great. The weather's really bad here. The flooding is really bad around my little town and in the state capital. Well, all over the South, actually. I just got a code red for my county. I'm going to go look at it. So I've got a phone call that I missed and a text message for the county. There's an emergency evacuation order for 2 little communities nearby on the outskirts of the town. One isn't too far away from where I'm at, but it's low lying by a creek. And I've seen the drone footage of the other little community and it's all flooded already. So I'm surprised there are still people in that area. It's horrible. There's a building, looked like a house floating down the Kentucky River in Frankfort, in the Frankfort area. Downtown area is flooded in Frankfort along the banks of the river. That area that I walked with you all on that trail down along the river, that's probably, I just talked to the friend this morning who was, who walked that trail with me. I told her that's probably all gone. I mean, it's probably destroyed. It's really bad here. I hope it quits raining soon. Yes, I haven't been doing too much, just watching YouTube videos. Pretty much. I almost rented a movie yesterday, and I decided to save my money for a little bit. So I didn't. I've just been watching free videos on YouTube and not much else. I do need to still start. I need to start some eggplant and cilantro today. Maybe some parsley too. I have to find my seeds though. I looked in one box late last night for my eggplant seeds and I couldn't find them. But I have 2 other boxes full of seeds, so I know I still have some, I think. And I do have 2 eggplants out there. I know they aren't normally perennial types in my zone because it freezes, but when I pulled up there were 3 eggplants out there last year in one of the big birdie beds, and they produced so well. I've never had eggplants do so well. And I think because we had such a dry summer last year. But when I pulled one of the plants up to make room for the cabbages and kohlrabi, the roots seemed like they were still alive. It didn't look dead to me. So I kept the other 2 out there. And I'm going to see if they come back. So I'm going to tell you a story because maybe it'll make you laugh a little bit in all the sadness, the weather sadness, all of the sad things that are happening with the weather, horrible, horrible tornadoes and flooding in all the southern states right now. Well, in some Midwest areas too in the U.S. So, the day before yesterday, I was sitting at the computer watching a video and something was like really bugging me. It was like a hair. My hair is really frizzy since it's started going gray and I quit dyeing it. So I just thought it was like, I thought it was one of my head hairs. But it wasn't, because when I grabbed a hold of it to move it, it yanked around my eyebrow. It was a 4 or 5 inch eyebrow hair. Yeah. I don't know how I missed it. It was white mostly, because my gray hair is not really gray. It's more of a whitish gray. So I couldn't see it. I felt it when I tugged on it. But I'm like, how many people have I been around? Did they notice? Like the young girl at the bank, did she notice the hair and just didn't say anything? Yeah, so I pulled it out, but I quit paying attention to my eyebrows because they quit growing. They like fell out. They were a lot skimpier than they used to be. When I was younger, I had a unibrow, and I used to pluck, and now the area where the eyebrow should be just doesn't grow back anymore. So I don't pay attention to it. I don't really care. Usually I don't like big stray hairs on my face though. And the only other time that's happened is when I was about 19 and I was working at the onion factory that I told you all about in another video. I was 19 years old, and all the people that I commuted with were middle-aged women. And we commuted in my mom's old Toyota Tercel. I think it was in 1982. It had automatic transmission, but no power steering. No air conditioning. It was like the bottom line cars, and it was tiny. And 4 of us commuted, including my mom. We commuted to work 5 days a week, 5 nights a week. I think we started at like 11 p.m. So we had to leave over an hour before that because it was an hour commute one way. And when we got off in the morning, it was daylight. It was early morning. So we were driving home, and we're just driving along, and the sun's shining into the car, into the window. And the lady sitting next to me reaches over. Her name was Anne. She reached over and said, "Hold on," and tugged and yanked out this big, it was like 10 inches or longer, blonde hair. And I had almost black hair back then. It was really long, and I'm assuming that's why I never saw it. Why didn't my boyfriend see it? I had a boyfriend at the time, and he never saw it. Come on. Just anyway, she yanked it out and was laughing. She's like, "Yeah, it's normal for somebody my age. When you get older, it'll happen all the time." And I'm like, "Oh my God." Yeah, that was the first time, and the other day was the second time. So I'm glad I haven't had anything like that happen again. I will be checking if I remember. My memory's not so great anymore, so I will be checking for stray eyebrow and chin hairs. It wasn't actually on my chin, that one. It was like attached down here. I remember it because it was horrifying. So I just thought you'd all get a chuckle out of that, because everything else is so depressing and sad, and the gray skies just make it worse. So I hope you got a little laugh out of that, especially if you're going through some sad times or the weather's just depressing. The dogs are probably going to leave here possibly tomorrow or Tuesday. My daughter's cleaning up her apartment right now. They steam clean the floors. That's all they did Thursday. So she has to do everything else. She has to disinfect everything else. They didn't clean the walls where they slopped sewage water up and down. I also gave her some mold killer spray. Butter is now on Buttercup. She is on an antibiotic. My daughter came Thursday night and stayed so she could take the dogs to the vet. She likes our vet here in this town. They needed their shots, their annual rabies and all that. And so they checked both of them out, and Butter has an abscess tooth. So she's going to have to get like $800 worth of work done cleaning her teeth. They have to put her out, and they also have to biopsy a couple, well, I think they're going to biopsy one lump that they found on her. My daughter's been worried about the one. Apparently she has more than one though, just to make sure it's nothing. So she doesn't seem to be in any pain though, because she eats every bit of food that I put out. I try and only feed them twice, but they do get snacks every once in a while. And I had to move the bowl, one of the bowls out so that Dink could eat, because Butter has a habit of eating everything in both bowls. So yeah, she's a little greedy little dog. So today I think I'm going to make some pork and grill some vegetables, some carrots, mushrooms, onions. Thawed out some of the soup to have for dinner, the bean and vegetable soup. And next week, provided I get my Social Security, I'm going to go out and get some more food, because I've been craving this dish from my childhood. My mom used to make it for me for my birthdays. Well, she would ask, what do you want for your birthday dinner? And I always pick this dish. So my kids didn't like it too well. I used to make it for them, and they weren't too thrilled with it, but I still like it. So I'm gonna have to get some chicken and bamboo shoots and Chinese cabbage. So I think I have everything else. Yeah. So I'll make that. Well, more bad news. So my city has shut down the water treatment plant. There's no boil water advisory, but apparently the river is getting too close to the plant, so they've shut it down for the time being. And so they're asking everyone to conserve water. So you have a gallon of distilled water I can use if nothing else. Things get bad. Hopefully people will, first of all, hear about it, that we're supposed to conserve water and not run a bunch of laundry. And yeah, I've been holding off anyway because of the sewer system. I know some of the surrounding counties have been asking their customers not to overwhelm the sewer system with doing laundry and other things, because their sewage systems are about to fail. So I washed all my vegetables in about a cup of water in a bowl in the sink to try and not waste so much water right now. So I think I've overfilled my air fryer. I wasn't planning on doing the tomatoes, but they're starting to go bad. Those tomatoes my daughter brought last week. And I don't have as many onions as I'd like, but I'm gonna try and I'm going to try and do it this way anyway and see if I have to put them on a different tray or not. So while the vegetables cook, I'm just going to pound my my pork. Should have used plastic wrap. I had scraps of the other stuff, so the parchment. It got partially cooked in the microwave when it was thawing out, but I'm going to take these and fry them in a little oil, bread them and fry them. So I do have an abundance of eggs right now, because not only did my daughter bring some eggs last week, I think it was last week, or the week before, but I bought another dozen when I went shopping at the beginning of the month. And then my daughter came Thursday to take her dogs the next day to the vet, and she also brought a dozen eggs. So she was given a bunch of eggs. I think she was given 3 or 4 dozen from a home chicken person. From somebody who raises chickens and eggs. So I was gonna make a quiche, like a crustless quiche, but I don't want to dirty, and I'm already dirtying too many dishes. I don't want a big bunch of dishes I have to wash, because I already have ants. I don't know if I mentioned this, but the rain and the spring always brings ants into my house. They're in the soil of some of my seedlings, and now they're coming in through the crack in the kitchen window. I think it's the kitchen window they're coming through. So I don't want to leave a bunch of dirty dishes in my sink. So I don't want to make a bunch of stuff. I think I'm just going to, after I make this dish, I'm just going to eat what's in the fridge and the freezer until the conserve water thing is over with. But I'll make some quiche when that's done, because not only do I have a bunch of eggs, I've been wanting to make a quiche, and there's a bunch of spinach that my daughter brought to make salads with that needs to be eaten too. So, and fresh dill. I think the dill is still good. Dill's still good. I might put some of the cilantro I bought the other day also, although I don't know if those two would go good together. What do you think? Does dill and cilantro go together? Okay, so I've got my oil heating. In a few minutes I will take that out and turn the vegetables. But right now I am going to, I think the oil is getting hot. I'm going to go ahead and bread this so I can fry the meat up. think I need more breadcrumbs. I'm running out of eggs, so I'm not going to dip it in the egg first. I usually don't anyway, but it sounded good at the time. Veggies are looking good. I was afraid the pork wouldn't cook all the way through before the outside was cooked, and I was right, it didn't. So unfortunately I'm gonna have to turn the big oven on for a little bit. So I'm gonna put it in a pan and bake. Bake the pork cutlets. Well, you know what? I might just put them in the same oven. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I got about half of it on another baking sheet, and I'm gonna continue air frying the other part of it. Also added a little bit of onion. So my food is done, except for part of the veggies that are in the oven. I think I'm going to move the air fried vegetables to a dish and then put all the other ones, the ones from the oven, onto the air fryer pan and air fry it instead of using the oven. But here's my plate. A lot of vegetables and pork cutlet and mushrooms. I was going to do this with gravy, but then I thought a breaded cutlet would be better. It's really good. I did not put salt and pepper on my vegetables like I normally do though. I don't really know if they need it. Maybe a tiny bit of salt on them because of the potatoes are kind of tasteless. Tiny bit. So I'm going to move the air fried veggies into another dish so I can use the air fryer for the other vegetables and turn the oven off. It turns out I'm not going to have to air fry these. they're pretty much roasted, so that's good. No more electricity. My daughter is working tomorrow, so she's bringing some water for us just in case tonight. I think she's on her way already. Take care, everyone. Hope you're not affected by this weather that we're having down south. And if you are, hope you're in a safe place. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully in the next day or two, I can get out in the garden and do something. I'm probably going to plant my tomatoes as soon as I can. I will have to put some protectors over them because we're still going to get frost, but I think I'm going to get some of the tomatoes out actually in the garden. Can't put them out in my new bed yet. I have to see how saturated it is when it does quit raining. So y'all take care. Bye.